So, hi everyone. Today I'll be discussing the Francisco Chavez v. Raul Gonzalez case and its implication on RA 4200, the anti wiretapping law, in relation to free speech and media rights in the Philippines. This case give us a unique view into how legal principles around privacy and freedom of the press can sometimes come into conflict, especially in cases that involve sensitive information and on public officials. So, this case is pretty long, as you can see. It's very long. So, but I will have to. I'll try to summarize this as much as possible. So it will not take our time to. Uh, will not take time to have a long discussion. So let's get to the point. What is the case all about? This case is centered on the infamous Hello Garci tapes, which is allegedly recorded a conversation about rigging the 2004 elections. These tapes supposedly caught then President Garcia Macapagal Arroyo talking with an election official implicating potential electoral fraud. After these tapes became public, DOJ Secretary Raul Gonzalez issued a warning to the media outlets, stating that broadcasting or even possessing these tapes could lead to a prosecution under RA 4200. Under RA 4200, sorry. NTC also joined in, warning media stations that their licenses could be suspended or even revoked if they aired the recordings. So we're dealing with a case that really examines the boundaries of RA 4200, where privacy laws come into contact with freedom of speech and press rights, especially since the tapes were about public official and an election. What are the facts of the case? So, in June 2005, the DOJ and NTC gave these warnings to media outlets in response to the Hello Garcia tapes. Um, Gonzalez stated that RA 4200, the anti-wiretapping law, meant media organization could face legal charges for broadcasting the tapes. NTC's announcement was even more severe, threatening to suspend or cancel broadcasting licenses, which directly impacts media operation. The issue here isn't just about the tapes, it's about whether the government's warning and threats against the media constituted what's known as a prior restraint, sorry, a form of censorship. Chavez, the petitioner, argued that these warnings stopped media from doing their jobs and denied the public information on something that was relevant to national governments. So, what are the issues in the case on Chavez v. Gonzalez on February 15, 2008? So, in relation to RA 4200, the core issues includes first that the government warning violated the Constitution's protection of free speech and free press. Did this government warnings violate the Constitution protection of free speech and free press? Sorry. Second was the anti-wiretapping law being applied correctly. Could RA 4200 really be used to silence the media because they can just use those recordings, especially since the media weren't the ones who conducted the wiretapping. And Supreme Court faced a complex situation. On one hand, there's the protection of private communication, which RA 4200 defends. And on the other hand, there's a freedom of the press to report on matters that impact public interest. So what is the ruling of Supreme Court? So in this ruling, the court divided its response between the DOJ and NTC's actions. For the NTC's warning, the court said that NTC's warning was an unconstitutional act of prior restraint by threatening to suspend or cancel broadcasting licenses. The NTC put a chilling effect on media outlet. In other words, the NTC threats made media station afraid to report, so they'd avoid broadcasting sensitive issues, which goes against the essence of free speech and press rights. The court decided that this NTC warning was effectively a way to silence the media through fear, so it was unconstitutional. For DOJ's warning, interestingly enough, the court took a different view. They ruled that DOJ Secretary Gonzalez's warning didn't count as prior restraint. His warning was viewed as a reminder of RA 4200, not an outright threat of legal action or censorship. In short, Gonzalez's warning lacked the chilling effect that NTC threat had, so the court didn't see it as unconstitutional. This ruling shows that the court careful approach in balancing government authority and the media's right to inform the public, setting a precedent that while government reminders that are okay, formal threats that create fear are not. So, what are our takeaways from the case? There are a few key lessons from this case that highlight both the protection and the limit of free speech and press freedom under Philippine law. First, uh, the case clarifies that boundaries of RA 4200. This law doesn't automatically criminalize the media handling of controversial materials if they didn't partake in illegal wiretapping. This protects media organizations that possess or broadcast recording in the public interest. So as long as they didn't break the law to obtain them. Second is the Supreme Court reinforced the idea that fire restraint is generally unconstitutional. This principle is really important for democracy. Without a free press, it becomes easier for authorities to prevent people from knowing what's happening, which limits public discourse and accountability. The ruling establishes that the government can easily use RA 4200 or any law as the tool to intimidate or suppress the media. And lastly, this case underscores the critical role of the press in informing the public about government issues. It's a reminder that while laws like RA 4200 are necessary for protecting privacy, they shouldn't be misused to hinder the media's responsibility to report them, especially since many people can be affected because of the elections and what's inside those tapes involving then President Macapagal Arroyo. In cases involving high public interest like alleged election fraud, people have the right to be informed. So this case is a powerful example of the balance between privacy laws and free expression in a democracy. It assures us that Supreme Court takes a strong stance against censorship while upholding laws like RA 4200 responsibly. So, Chavez B. Gonzalez is a landmark case for the Philippines, safeguarding free speech and press rights for overreach under RA 4200. It's a reminder of how critical these freedoms and for accountability and transparency in our government. The public rights to know and the press duty to report should remain protected even in sensitive cases like this. Thank you for listening in this reflection. I hope this breakdown helped clarify the importance of this um, importance of this case for our freedom and for the integrity of our press. Thank you everyone for watching.